Shalom, shalom. This is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries. It is the 27th day of the 9th Hebrew month. It's Sunday night. Now we're into the third day of Hanukkah, and I hope you're all having a very happy Hanukkah. So there was a major news story today as we're continuing to follow the developments of this, what I believe is the first spark of a major world war. Like I said, when I saw the events that occurred on Friday going into the first day of Hanukkah, with this car bombing assassination in Lebanon, Yah said, remember World War I. And today, Lebanon fired rockets, a bunch of rockets into northern Israel. And Israel retaliated immediately, sent a bunch of rockets into southern Lebanon. Analysts are saying this is another way to draw Israel into the Lebanon-Syria conflict. Israeli officials immediately, basically said, hey, Lebanon, you are not able to control this terrorist group, Hezbollah, in your country. They're out of control. They're firing these rockets. Again, Hezbollah is exactly the type of group that the West, the United States, and UN are blaming on this car bomb. Saudi Arabia just sent, literally today, $3 billion to Lebanon to fund their military. Saudi Arabia's enemies with Russia, okay? Because again, it said last summer, if Obama goes into Syria, Russia will strike Saudi Arabia. All the sides are lining up. Everything's lining up. My wife and Anka had done some history about the history of World War I, and it's very interesting. It was on June the 28th, 1914, when this Austrian Archduke of Austria was assassinated. Well, it's on December the 28th, 2013, when this assassination becomes news all across the world. Then you had what was known as the July Crisis for an entire month. You had all this diplomatic war of words between Austria, Serbia, Russia, France, Germany, and of course then it led to this world war being declared late in the month of July the 28th actually, about a month later, 1914, and World War I began. So likewise, I think what we're going to see is this sort of escalating tensions, war of words between the different powers, and just as we had a July crisis of 1914, we'll see a January crisis of 2014. You're either on Yahshua's side or you're not. You're either pressing in with everything in you, or you're not. It's over, folks. I mean, you're either a pure heart or you're not at this point. You're either asleep and slumbering or playing games, or you're pressing in with everything in you to love Him with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. There was this race car driver today that is now in an instant coma. He was the greatest race car driver of all, Michael Schumacher. And now he's in an instant coma. You don't know the day or the hour when this can happen. And it's just a prophetic picture again of saying you're either pressing in with everything in you or you're not. And I'm just basically now making these YouTubes for the pure hearts, trying to encourage you and show you that we're living in the times that have been promised for thousands of years, the times leading up to the Great Tribulation, which begins this March 11th. And of course, what we're looking forward to is not really this day of darkness that's coming up, but what comes after it, the Messiah returning. So look up, for your redemption draws nigh. And remember, in terms of getting to the safe place, it's not by might, not by power, but by His Spirit. You don't try to go out and find the safe place. You don't do it by your own flesh. There's going to be a lot of apostate, false, safe places out there. There's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, look, there's the Christ. Oh, there's the Christ. No, there's the Christ. No. Yahshua ain't returning till that 7th new moon of 2017. And until then, we rely on His Spirit, and He, and His own good timing, will take us to that safe place in the days leading up to April 10th. This is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries, wishing all of the pure hearts out there a very happy and joyful Hanukkah. Shalom.